All right, guys, we are going to take a first look at this real steel Huggin, and I kind of like it, but it's one of those deals where it's the first day, so we'll see how it plays out. I have noticed a couple things that might be problematic in the future, but we'll see, because sometimes those things change. Guys, I'd like to remind you this channel is self-sponsored, so if you see anything on this channel you want to purchase, please check the affiliate link at Blade HQ and see if it's available there. And also, there's a bunch of other affiliate links down below that you can use to purchase a bunch of different stuff. Doesn't cost you anything at checkout, but it does support the channel. So, guys, let's take a look at this from above. But before we do that, turn down the volume, because here comes a little bit of music. Guys, this is a knife. Now I put it back in its box because I just wanted to show you the packaging. This is the real steel Huggin. Now I put this in my pocket yesterday. I didn't get a chance to film it yesterday because I was doing sharpening all day. I'm not sure 100% yet how I feel about this knife. So this is an Axis style lock knife done by Real Steel. It's in a drop point G10 and looks like steel liners with an Axis style lock. Now there's two things about this that I'm not sure how I feel about yet, but let's go ahead and take a quick look at it. So like I said, I put it in my pocket yesterday and I carried it for a little bit. The pocket clip is a little weird. It's kind of weak. It does like to walk around in a pair of shorts, but it doesn't seem to be too bad in a pair of jeans. And this is another one of those knives that your attachment point is here at the end, and I think they kind of have it set. So yeah, it looks like it's ambidextrous. You can take that across. The hardware is definitely interesting. I get kind of a Shirogorov vibe from the hardware. The G10 seems to be done pretty well. It's got a nice little fuller blade shape on it is nice. It's a nice drop point blade with a very good finish on that blade. You can see the angular cut where they started their swedge gives it a nice attractive look, and it seems to be fairly thin. It did cut pretty well. Feels pretty thin behind the edge. Like I said, this is first impressions, first day carry, so just little things that I've noticed. It's not a small knife. It is just about 8.5 inches on the mat scale. So when we get around to doing the full-on video review, we'll get the actual specs. But so it's an attractive knife. I think that I'm not a big fan of the thumb studs though. They're a little bit small, and they're kind of far up close to the pivot. So you kind of, like when you're opening it, I'm hitting right there. It's like if you don't try to thumb flick it, your thumb almost comes off of right there. See how my thumb's hitting? It kind of just wants to, it's a little close. I think it would have been a better idea to move those, maybe make this fuller a little bit smaller and move that about there. Like I said, really good looking blade. It's comfortable in hand. I will say it's really comfortable in hand, and that pocket clip just disappears. So if you're not really concerned about like pocket clip tension and maybe having it walk around a little bit in some thinner pants, not a big deal, but you can hear it. You can hear it tap a little bit. Like I said, I like the hardware. The Axis lock on this one, the sliding bar lock, is good. I like it. It deploys easy and everything like that. But a lot like the thumb studs, which are kind of small. That's the other thing I was going to mention. Thumb studs are a little small. They just kind of feel a little underwhelming on this. But the Axis bar, or the sliding bar lock, the Axis lock on this, is kind of small. Those pins are kind of small, and it's a little bit awkward to get a hold of, to deploy. It feels like they just feel too small. And it could just be that I'm used to the larger ones, like you have on the Benchmade 940 and stuff like that. But I mean, the lock works really well. It's not as smooth as some of the other knives though, which I find kind of odd, because if you listen, this has a little bit of play, and that's not uncommon with Axis locks, especially Axis locks that run on washers, because by the time you tighten it up to where you have a really free action, you wind up with a little bit of wiggle. And that's just something I've noticed in a lot of Access style locks, the sliding bar locks. But this one is not as smooth. It's kind of stiff, and it could just be a break-in thing. I don't know how long Jared carried this before he sent it, but it is a little weird. A couple other little things I've noticed. On some knives, this works really well, and I might get used to it, but with this curvatured area for your finger, it kind of leaves a spot here where it just feels like I'm pushed into, like here it feels fine, but back here it's just kind of a little point. Had this just been a little bit longer, or maybe a little bit more straight and less angular, it wouldn't feel as weird. I'm not saying it's uncomfortable, it just feels odd. It really does feel a little odd. Now, I haven't done a lot of cutting with this yet, but I will say it does cut well, and it's comfortable in the cut. You have a lot of, this is one of those knives where even though it's a larger knife, I don't feel like it's too long. I did a video about a knife a couple days ago that just felt a little odd in hand because it was long, and it just felt like I wasn't getting the purchase on it that I wanted. This doesn't seem to feel like that. This feels pretty stable, pretty solid. And then you can, on this one, you can get way up on it and do some detail work and things like that, because it's pretty straight across the back. I do like some of the knives that have got like the curvature, like I did that Ganzo that had the curvature in here. I do like that because when you're cutting like this, it gives you a really comfortable feel. But if you've got a knife that's nice and straight across the back, you can transition up on it to do some detail work and get it in that pinch, and it doesn't feel weird, and it doesn't push you out of a position you want to be in. So I do like that, and I've gotten up on it and done some stuff with it, and it is pretty comfortable all around. And it's just a good looking knife. It really is. I don't know price point or anything on this, but let's go ahead and look. There's what it comes with. You got a schematic. It shows you how this knife works. So this is kind of cool. Real Steel has done a good job with some of the stuff that they provide. Basically they give you a breakdown of all the parts of the knife. Like different lock mechanisms. So you've got liner locks, and then you've got, I dig this, button lock, frame lock, back lock. They don't have the sliding bar lock on here though, which is kind of odd because this knife's a sliding bar lock and it's not on there. And then it comes with a lineup of some of their other knives. So Real Steel's packaging is actually pretty cool. I dig it. I especially like these blown out schematics. These are things that when I was a kid, I would have kept these and done something with them, like put them on a cork board or something. So I mean, it's just one of those goofy geeky things that I enjoy. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I do like this knife a lot. Like I said, we'll see how it plays out. I may get used to the thumb studs on it. I've had other knives that came in that on first blush. Oh, VG10 steel, I meant to mention that. VG10 steel is steel I like. It's not as premium as it used to be. It's really good all around steel. It doesn't oxidize as badly as D2, and you get kind of the same overall experience. If you do a good coarse edge on VG10, you're going to have pretty much the same feel of D2. So I prefer it over D2 a lot of times, because while it will patina, like if you cut lemons, or if you cut greasy meats or salty things like that, it will patina a little bit, but it's easier to maintain and clean up than, say, a D2, which once you start getting that oxidation and corrosion, it's pretty hard to stop it. So VG10's a good all-around steel I really like. Like I said, I'm on the fence on this one. We'll see how it carries. It is comfortable, so I imagine that it's gonna get a pretty good review, because so far it's pretty comfortable, and it's a good all-around size and shape knife. So there you go, guys. Just a quick first impressions, first quick look at the Real Steel Huggin, which is let's see, does it have a designer on there? There you go. There's your designer. So, all right, guys, let's turn around and do some final thoughts. So there you go, guys. The Real Steel Huggin. I have not had a big problem with any of the Real Steel knives. It is a very attractive knife, and I'm going to tell you, boy, is it sharp. I didn't mention that at the tabletop, but it is really sharp. So Guys, that's it on this one. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the content, give it a thumbs down. But please tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's simple as like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon. But if you do hit the bell icon, make sure you got notifications turned on your device or you still won't get notified. Guys, if you want to support the channel financially, however, there's a bunch of ways you can do it. Down below, I've set up a bunch of affiliate links like I mentioned at the beginning. Gear, knives, recommended items, things like that. But I also have Blade HQ where most of the stuff you'll see on the channel can be found. Coffee brand, coffee company, and a VPN, some other stuff down there. Other ways you can do it, I have a membership that is tier-based. Pick a tier that suits you best, gets you what you want out of the memberships. But remember, everyone saves $5 off my sharpening service. Everyone has access to my Gilded server. If you're a premium member, you have access to a sharpening tutorial series I've built. The final way is I have a merchandise store at Ember Shirt Co. I've set up a coupon code that works anywhere at Ember Shirt Co. It'll save you 10% at checkout. That coupon code is CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word. Save you 10% at checkout. And if you send me pictures of you wearing my merchandise, I will put them in a video. Guys, that's it. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comments section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will see you in the next video.